5 meters. Ready? Go. Time. Have a drink.
Okay.
Have a drink.
I see what you mean. That about doing at least one shadow jiu-jitsu without the dummy, because it forces you to move faster because you don't have to set the dummy up in the position.
Yeah. And
So you can just
it's good and bad. So it's good for certain movement because it gives you more freedom and you can connect movement better. It's bad because the dummy give you advantage in some position that not having a dummy give you. But
yeah.
I will advise you to do at least one without the dummy and two with the dummy, or two without the dummy and one with the dummy. Always have the dummy, but not doing only without the dummy or only with the dummy.
Yeah. I just did one without it. So I think I'll do half now without it, and then the other half with it, and the last one with it.
Up to you. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go. Stein. This morning I analyzed a fight of me 14 years ago and me now. I was so bad 14 years ago.
What belt were you 14 years ago?
White belt in Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Sambo.
Oh, okay.
And my Niwaza was so bad. And the worst thing is that I analyzed the Switzerland fight, the final of to be a Switzerland champion of champion of Sambo of Switzerland. And it was so, I mean, the throw was okayish, but the rest was, oh my God.
So you started jiu-jitsu in Switzerland as well?
Yeah, but I did just a little bit, just to understand what the jiu-jitsu people were trying to do against me. So it was more as a spy than than really doing. I was more a spy. It was like, haha, I'm gonna find out all their secret, and I will know how to beat them after. It was more like that. Okay, let's go.
All right, that was a long Ricardo rest.
Yeah, I know. I'm becoming too generous. Okay, let's go. Okay. So now, sadly, my wife is not here to help me to teach the technique. So we're gonna do a video analysis. So for the people that are on Instagram and TikTok, go on Facebook, BJJ Battalion, or Periscope, or YouTube, BJJ Battalion, whatever. And now, so today we're gonna watch. So you remember we analyzed the fight of me fighting another guy at brown belt at the annual. We analyzed the final of the annual where I won 2-0. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna analyze the first fight. It was with a sparring partner of Toronto BJJ. I don't remember the name, so I don't remember his name, sadly, because I suck with name. Sorry, everybody. This is me. Me too. Name is difficult. I do a lot of effort to remember the name of my students, but the rest of the universe, I have tendency to don't try to struggle that much. So sorry. The funny thing is that he's a sparring partner for his nickname is Captain America because he looked like a little bit like Captain America. But he has he has a kid. He has a kid, and almost at the same time that I had my daughter. Multiple participants share is this one. Sorry, I'm trying to share screen. There we go. Share. Did you see it?
Hang on. It looks like it's starting. Yeah, I can see it now. Yes, excellent.
Okay. So like you can see, I like to watch a lot of things about Pokemon. So there we go. So this is him, and so I knew him. He started after I started. So that was his first years of brown belt, and that was my last years of brown belt. And when a kid's born, she has an intestinal problem, and she was not sleeping all night. So he almost didn't sleep for, I don't know if he sleep now, but for 4 years, 3 years, probably 2 to 3 years, he didn't sleep. And so he was training how he could. So I'm saying all of that because I was thinking that I will have not an easy fight, but I will have the victory was mine, and he actually really surprised me. He put me in trouble a lot, and I had to actually play my full game to beat him. So that's the thing I like about that fight, because I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a tough fight. So I pull guard. So this is a pull guard that I love to do, is the De La Riva pull guard. Okay, so you see how you go right away in the De La Riva. You go here. So you see, you just step to the side. It's like a side break fold, but with a long step, and you use the legs of your opponent to spin and to end up in De La Riva. And you have a very strong De La Riva. You see, that's the sign of a strong De La Riva, is when you don't need to grab the foot. You don't need to do anything. The De La Riva himself is controlling not the leg. So this is the sign that you really have a strong De La Riva. So, and I was able to close the gap. So at that point, this is a very good starting. And I was like, yeah, the victory is mine. And now it becomes a surprise, because he really surprised me. He really did a very good fight. And he almost made me it almost made me doubt for a moment because I was like, maybe I can lose that fight. So I'm here, okay, and I close the guard and everything seemed to be perfectly according to plan. But I don't know if you're going to see it that I have the guard closed, but I can do nothing. So I try to walk, and you can see he doesn't give me nothing. And you see he start to stand up. So he start to do. So I'm losing control of him. Of course, I feel that he start to stand up, so I'm trying to grab the legs, and suddenly go on his knee. Boom! I try to do a scissor sweep, and right now he found the right timing to push my chest away, like he should do, and move his hips away. And you see, he bring his leg up. So if you bring that legs up, you nullify the scissor sweep. If you bring the legs up to the legs that cut, there's no more scissor sweep. So right now I lost the close guard and I lost the sweep. So I'm able to bring back in the close guard because probably lose the balance. So I'm working for the submission, but you can see it doesn't give me enough. It gives me nothing. So even when I try to grab his legs, he covered the legs. You see, every time I grab his legs, he hide the legs. And you see his knee is very close to mine. So you see there's no room, there's no light going. So this is a good thing because it's become very difficult to pummel. Even if I see, and now he stand up. So if he stand up and you see my chest, my back is not touching the floor. So if my back is not touching the floor, I cannot grab the legs. So this is bad. This is really bad for me. And now I'm burning energy, and he's not burning that much because I have to keep my belly, contract. I have to keep the close guard. I have to squeeze the legs, and he has only one thing to do is to wait until I decide to let go. So I try to do the muscle sweep like I teach, but he know that because we fight since forever, so he's able to keep a very strong base. You see how he keep the base. That was like, I was like, what going on at that point? I was like, okay. And you do a very good job of controlling the position. Even if I have the close guard right now, I will say he has a stronger position than mine. Now I am on my leg. I am, you see, I am very far from his legs. He's keeping my hands, you see, so I cannot use my hands properly. I have a hard time to keep him to stay close to his chest. The only thing he should maybe do is to push my chest away. But other than that, man, that was the only mistake he did is that he let me close the guard on him. That was the only mistake he did since the start of the fight. He let me close the guard. He should never let me close the guard. But other than that, everything else was good. So I think I was trying to trick him. He know all my tricks, so he didn't let me trick him. So yeah, he did. The only thing he did wrong is to let me close the guard on him. Otherwise, everything else was good timing. He tried to escape, and I closed the guard again. But it's because I lose balance. I mean, that was a good job on me and good job on him to be able to almost escape the close guard. So the only thing I'm winning right now is by timing. I have a better timing than him. Is why I was able to close the guard. But other than that, technically speaking, tactically speaking, he's doing anything wrong. He's doing everything. So you see, he doesn't let me grab. So that was very annoying because I couldn't play and he moved way better than me. So and boom, and so that's maybe a mistake. You see, he let me grab. My grip was not that good, and he didn't do anything to address that because it was a little bit obvious what I was going to do. The same movement than before. So he couldn't, like the other guy of the final almost passed my guard at that point. So that was my mistake to always pull guard in the same way. If you want to pull guard, you should at least try to attack a little bit, like pretending that you try a foot sweep, something to don't make it too obvious, okay? So, but I'm lucky he didn't try to escape. So He pushed the legs in the middle of his legs to go for a half guard or reverse putting. So my half guard is good. You see, I have the knee in front of, you don't see it, but I have the knee in front of him. He doesn't have my neck. His hands are here if I have it, all right, but his hands is here, what is not great, but I can do nothing because he's controlling my hands. So you see, I try to grab his hands, try to grab the pants and try to sweep him, but he doesn't get swept. So he addressed the situation right away. So again, a very good timing and good job from him. So, and at that point, I start to use my IJJF game, the lasso. So that was a mistake from him. But I mean, it was for 3 minutes, I didn't even try the lasso once. So, and it's a game that I use a lot. For 3 minutes, I don't use my lasso. And like that, when after 3 minutes, when I use my lasso, the guy is start to get used to it of my game, and he doesn't think that I'm gonna use the lasso. So the lasso go in easier. And by the time he realized that he's in lasso, it's too late. So this was not yes, he should not let me put the lasso, but I caught him with a tactical game, not because he did a mistake. So I put my 2 foot to the same side. You see, you don't see it very well, but I put my 2 foot in the same side, like I don't know if you saw the Rikaku Yasua video that I did. Put my 2 foot to the other side, and now what I need to do is to reverse and grab his right legs to sweep him. So I grab. You see, I go deep. So he grabbed my head, but that was not a good idea because I don't care at that point if he bring my head close to him. I want him to bring close to him. So you see, this is my my foot, and I'm gonna now kick him to the other side. So I think I try it. You see, boom. You see, this is my typical IJJF game. And now look, so a lot of time they teach you to go for the chest to try to go in side control. But if you go for the chest, if you go for side control against someone that fight like him and is doing a very good job, you have a very high percent chance that you're gonna just don't let you go in side control and maybe also recover the stand-up position. So what I do is that instead of going for the chest, I'm going for the legs. So I'm not making 5 points for the sweep and the side control. I'm making only 2 points for the sweep, but the sweep, it's 99% sure. Instead of if I go for the chest, there is a 50% chance that I get nothing. So you see, I go for the legs, boom. So, and now I make sure that he gets swept. So now I got my 2 points. And now I have just to pretend to fight. But the guy is moving very hard, so it's very difficult even to keep him on the bottom. So I think I got my 2 points. You see me looking on the screen, being like, oh, good, I have my 2 points. Now I can relax a little bit. So, no, sorry, I didn't got my 2 points. I got an advantage. What is not good, man, because an advantage, if you make points if I make one mistake and you make points, I'm still losing the fight. So this is not good. This is mean. I'm winning, but it's easily reversible. So I'm careful. And it didn't seem to be mentally pressure from the advantage point because he did a very good. I think he knew that he did a very good job since then. So he was like, I can still manage. So I pull guard. So this is another pull guard. This is not a De La Riva pull guard. This is the 101 pull guard where I push the hips. So this is a good pull guard because by pushing the hips, your opponent cannot move properly. And by not moving properly, you have more time to actually set up your bottom game. So right now, it doesn't let me close the gap. Yes?
Can I ask you a question? How do you avoid the phalanx when you do the 101 kind of guard?
How you avoid the phalanx? You counter the phalanx with the pudding.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You counter the phalanx with the pudding. That's how you counter the phalanx. because by hooking the femur, yes, the femur with your foot, it'll allow you to turn around and to go for his back, or to go for his back. So it's how you counter the. But right now I didn't do that. Right now I elevate him. You see, I elevate him, so he loses balance, and I close the guard again. This time I'm trying to choke him. No, I don't think I'm trying. I tried to do a scissor sweep. So he looked at the point and he realized that I have one advantage at point because I almost sweep him. So I tried to finish the fight here with a beautiful choke, but it doesn't work because he turned the head to the right side, and I'm not able to clear his neck. So that's again a good job. I mean, he's doing the only thing I'm beating him is timing, and this is nothing. You know, if someone has a better timing than you, there's not really a lot you can do. But you see how he controlled my sleeve, my lapel to try to stand up. That's a very good. He's doing exactly the blueprint perfectly. Like he grab, and now he's gonna stand up. But now I caught him. I knew that he was going to stand up. So you see, when he decides to stand up, I'm going to put my foot, boom, and now I have him in lasso. So he's thinking about escaping the close guard, and he didn't realize that he already get caught. I don't know if he realized or not. Maybe he realized it, but he's already caught in the next movement. And I already know what I'm going to do because I drill that all the time. So, and you see, he noticed. So right away, instead of standing up, he go on his knee, stay on his knee, and go in half guard. What is a good thing, but the problem is that I have the lasso. So now he's stuck. Now what he should do is to try to move away. He should try to move away, and that's a mistake. You see, he stay in the same position, try to face me, because he think that maybe he can smash my lasso. But that's exactly what I want. I want him to stay close. What he should have done, that is the first technical mistake that he do in the entire fight. He should have moved away from me. Just, almost sprawl, move the legs and the hips away and try to free the arms. And now look, he sit. It's a bad thing because it's exactly what I want. So he sit because so he sit. I understand. He sit because last time I swept them by throwing to the other side. So it's like if I sit, he cannot throw me. Okay, you see, I cannot throw him right now. I have a hard time to throw him. So he's putting all his weight back. So I cannot sweep him. But what happened is that the lasso is such that if you cannot sweep him to forward, you sweep him backwards. Okay, and that's something that people don't work. People are not specialists in lasso, don't understand or don't know. There's not only one. You can sweep in any angle. You can sweep laterally, forward, backwards. And as soon as you have the lasso and you are inverting, you have a ton of different ways to sweep, not only one direction. And you see now I control his legs to make sure that I have the 2 points. So now I have the 2 points. And now we are back to. So now I have to tell you, I was very worried because he did a very good job. He countered everything I did, and I was like, even if we are almost close, we still have it like maybe 1 or 2 minutes. 30 seconds. He can still manage to do something and win because he did a very good job. He can just catch me by surprise and make 2 points. So I was still kind of worried at that point because I was like, he can. So I tried to. Passing the gap by switching my hips. But this is not this is a very bad position for me. This is my mistake because I didn't, my butt is very low. So he can push with his elbow, he can push me away and he can rock me easily at that point. You see, he has my pants, he can rock me at any point in time. Right now, with a little bit of explosion, he can totally get me. So that was a mistake from my part. I grab his pants to try to keep because I noticed that I make a mistake. So I grab so he's already going his elbow. And now this is a secret. This is the secret foot lock. So I know that I'm in trouble. So when I'm in trouble, I go back to trying to break a leg because I'm like, he's gonna sweep me. I'm gonna try to do something, you know. So I grab his legs, and now he tap. And I won. But he was very close to sweep me. He could he was in the right position. He could sweep me. The only thing he didn't even, I don't know if he didn't do. I'm telling you, the only real mistake technically he did it was to not moving his hips away from the first second lasso. The rest was just me having a better timing than him. But otherwise, he did nothing wrong. He was very tough. He gave me a very hard time. He put me on my edge. I was not expecting to have such a hard time with that guy, and it was very fun to see him being so good against me. Fun and scary too, you know. Fun and scary. Fun because I'm happy that he's becoming so good. Scary because I don't want to lose in competition. You know, I compete to win, not to lose. But yeah, that was it. How much time? Oh, just in time. So yeah, that's it. That was a very nice fight. He did a very good job, and man, the guy didn't sleep. You know, the guy just didn't sleep for he didn't sleep for 2 years, and he faced me, and you know, that's just amazing. I mean, I'm really, really impressed. I thought that I will go way easier because it was like the guy didn't sleep for 2 years. How can he? How can he compete? How can he compete? I mean, it should go not too hard. I mean, I know that is good, so I was like, I'm gonna have to sweat and work hard, but I was not expecting to be such in trouble and struggle so much. So yeah, that was a very, very nice fight. I like it a lot. And yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, actually, I do have one.
Yes.
When you said the one other mistake he made was letting you close the guard.
Yes.
So what could he have done? Like just as soon as he knew your legs around, like just to back up maybe? Or?
Yeah, you have to move your hips or go in the phalanx. Don't let people close the guard. Like you have to understand that closing the guard is bad. It's maybe borderline. If we talk about a competition without points, okay. If you talk about EBI fight, for example, or whatever, it's better to get swept than to get the guy closing the guard on you with the gi.
Okay.
Okay, it's better to get. I know that in IBJJF they don't give point in closing the guard, but for me, closing the guard is a big advantage. It's the position that you have to go to submit your opponent. So it's almost one step before the end of the game.
Right.
So you pull guard. Your objective on the bottom should be pull guard, close the guard, submit. That's it. So if you're closing the guard, you already have one. If the guy give you very hard time in the closing the guard, then you can decide take the back, submit to have even a stronger position. But you have to understand that the close guard is a weak mount.
Yeah.
But it's still a mount. You know. Okay.
Yeah.
Not as
no, I know. George is always saying, you know, the close guard is just mount in reverse.
Exactly. And if you watch the fight of George, the last time he fought at Toronto Open, he got the guy in close guard, and the fight was done. He submitted the guy in close guard. That's it.
Yeah.
With his beautiful arm drag that is a nightmare. Boom. And he grab you with the arm drag, control you, and armbar you. And that's the game of George when he close the guard. So if you get the guard close on George and he has an arm drag, if you escape, even if you escape, you're gonna burn so much energy just by escaping, if he let you escape, because most of the time he let me escape just for fun. But but that's it, you know, he close the guard and he submit you and the game is done. So you should never let people close the guard on you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
That was excellent. Very useful. See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
See you, man. Now I'm gonna have to shut down.